everyone. Good morning. Good to see you here. Paul Trani going to dive into today's announcements. We have some brand updates. I want to talk about software, and I just want to welcome you to Adobe Live this week. So it's good to have you here. I see you, Annika, Carol, Michelle, Bruce, Noor, Anastasia. Hello everyone. Does everybody have their coffee? Is everybody ready to get this party started? I must say that even though I'm live on Adobe Live, I learn a lot from, obviously, from other streamers. And this week is no different. So, hello, Chris Olson, what's up? Sean Kosel, what's up? Frank's in the house. Kimmy J Designs. Kimmy, so good to see ya. All right, so let's get this party started. Wanted to welcome you. We're going to talk about guests, news, new creative out there, which is always going to be fun, and of course, new technology. So, yeah, good to see you all, like Sam says. But let's jump into our guests right now and welcome them this week. Excuse me. Did everybody have a good weekend? Is everybody drinking coffee and having fun? I desperately need coffee. I'm not gonna lie. Desperately. And that's what I'm gonna cover in a second. As soon as I can see my screen on the within the app here, which I don't know why it's not showing up, but that happens. This is fun. It's Monday. Let's do this. Feel free if you have any cool creative that you've seen out there. Would love to know about it. For some reason, this is not showing up, so give me 1 second. Again, yeah, it's Monday. I get it. That's so weird. Hold on 1 second. And I am back. Let's see if that did anything. You could see, obviously, that we have these lovely creatives that, yeah, we're going to talk about. And let's just go ahead and do that a different way. So we're going to improvise this morning, if you don't mind. Hello, Arsalan. I see you over there. Cool. So you can see we have Justine from Winnie Weston. She's going to be with us today, which is going to be cool. And she's going to show us how to basically sort of create diverse characters, which obviously are not represented enough in a lot of art, is the short of it. So we want to make sure we highlight them. So and that's what we're going to do. All right, let's do this really fast. And again, thanks for joining me. Let's just switch over. Boom, improvised. Let's take a look, expand this out. Sure enough, I had everything loaded, but now nothing's actually being shown, but you could actually see. If you go to Winnie Weston, .com, you can see her awesome work, and this is what I'm talking about right in here. So basically sort of, again, defining or sort of showing diverse voices, as you can see. Bold, creative, colorful. Join the mailing list, sure. Buy a cup, why not? But you could see, of course, there she is, Justine, and her awesome work. So I think it's going to be pretty fun today. That's actually right after my after the daily creative challenge, the Photoshop daily creative challenge. So that should be pretty cool. All right, Perry, how are you doing? If you're joining me for the first time, I want to welcome you and say hi. So let us know. Actually, this afternoon, just so you know, we have Anna Court, who's an illustrator, has been live with us before. You can go to her site, annadaviscourt.com. She's actually going to be talking about animations. You can see her work right here. It's like, oh, she does illustration. Oh, she does so much more than that, just so you know. Yeah, it's pretty impressive. But she's going to show how to create animation. So you have, of course, illustrations that you do, and you're like, wow, it'd be really cool to add some motion to this rain, for instance. And yeah, she's going to get in how to do that. So that will be good. Definitely, Annika, you're right. It's definitely Monday at my house. Oh, man, I want to pour some coffee in my eyes. Can I do that? And I don't know why my laptop's not connecting. But it's not a big deal because the big thing is we have a cool day planned for today and tomorrow. And then we'll dive into what's happening next. And you probably read this on my screen. But, yeah. Golden Rose, hello. We have Sean Reichen, does a lot of Photoshop work, by the way. So he's going to recreate SpongeBob's house. With Pixel Squid is actually what he's using. This is, as it says there, Wednesday and Thursday. So. Wait for it. Always have a backup. But we could check out Sean's work. You could see his work on Behance. Case of the Mondays. But check it out right in here. Just so you know, this is done with Pixel Squid. I think I was on a live stream with him when he was working on something like this. This is made with Pixel Squid, which is basically 3D renders. So they've already done the renderings of 3D models, and you just get to drop them in, rotate them, get the position right. In this case, this weird eyeball, which probably makes people like uncomfortable. But you know, you can go ahead and rotate that any way you want. So you have that flexibility of 3D without learning 3D, which is awesome. All right. So, yeah. And also two of my favorite people as well. You probably know all too well. But we have James Bonanno and Anna McNaught creating video content. So this also will be really cool. And I'm super excited to have James presenting. And he is Anna's husband and will be showing off his work. So that's the idea. Let me just search for James, just pull up some of his work. It's a Monday, everybody, welcome. And yeah, you can check out his work. Just doing a quick search. And you can check out his work actually just below me. So let's kind of move on, since I've kind of wasted a little bit of time kind of getting things set up. Let's jump into news that we have going on. All right, I'm back. Hello, everyone. Oh, Biola, how we doing? How we doing? All right. Frank, what's up? So let's kind of dive into this. I just wanted to kind of do a couple new branding updates. So that's kind of what today is about, really fast. We, of course, have a brand with good old Coca-Cola has a redesign, just so you know. And theirs is actually pretty cool, as we'll be able to tell. They just rebranded their cans. And I'm also going to talk about trends, but this is very like a minimalistic design approach. They're doing exactly what Burger King did, by the way. Super minimalistic, right? They're already established brand. So if we take a look, we could see what their work looks like. pushing it to the top, having this space for it to breathe, having a can finally stand out. You know, if you think about really any package design, it's all about standing out off the shelves. And if everything is yelling and then you have something that's quiet, the quiet thing is going to get your attention because it's the contrast of everything yelling and then the quiet element. So again, I like these, of course, these Coke cans. We have Coke, Diet Coke, and then here's Coke Zero. So classy, and I'm so into it. That's why I wanted to point it out to you guys. I don't know if I remember always Coca-Cola, nor... Does anybody remember, like, what was it? Didn't Coke or Pepsi do, like, Hands Across America? Oh, do you remember I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke? I'm sure most people remember that as well. Okay, let's get into other brands as well. Because I think, even though they did this a while ago, we really haven't taken a look at it. Dunkin' Donuts redesign right in here. So look at how smart this is. They went minimalistic. Look what they did with their small, their medium, and then their large, right? They're having the type adjust. And I don't think people would know unless you see them side by side. Would you be able to tell sort of like what's going on here? Which again, it's just more vast than people realize. Of course, owning those two colors, a unique combo, repeating words, right? It's just really, really fun what they're doing. So right over here, of course, sort of on the go, Dunkin' Box of Joe. It all works, and I'm into it. So hopefully you are as well. Plus, I could desperately use some Dunkin' Donuts coffee. I'm lucky enough, I'm drinking some toasted coconut coffee right now. So hopefully you're all enjoying your day as well. So yes, Annika, yeah, responsive logos. And typically as a designer, you make these different versions that will go different places, right? But they're never usually taken quite to this extent that like Dunkin' takes them to, right? Burger King, we talked about them before, did an exceptional job of having a minimalist logo and dealing with the B and the K. It's just like so good. And by the way, it's very much a rounded sans serif font as I think about it. Burger King and Dunkin' Donuts. So again, pretty cool. You get the idea. And thanks so much for tuning in. Toasted coconut coffee, that's right. I'm so bougie. Kind of want to talk about the die line, by the way. So, yes. Shanti Sparrow turned me on a die line, which, you know, it's like websites kind of fall off your radar, and I feel like die line kind of fell off my radar. And I'm just rediscovering them in all of their great content. They have a 2021 trend report that also you could check out, and it's all things that you might be doing instinctively that might be on trend. Hey, I've noticed that as well with the daily creative challenges. So if we take a look at their trends, you have trends that are fading out, right? And then trends that are coming back in. So let me just scroll down, wait for it. So again, fading trends of 2020. It's like gold, bougie. Yeah, I'm surprised that's even a trend, by the way. Here to stay in 2021, social first branding, right? So you have a lot of this. Again, still bold colors, as you can see, minimalist in design, right? So even though they're just talking about social first, you can obviously see the bold branding as well. Scrolling down, accessible wellness, right? That's actually a whole industry that's doing quite well within the past year, of course. Packaging sort of being 100% recyclable and things like that. So you guys get the idea. Bold, saturated colors. This is kind of what I wanted to get to because, you know, I love dealing with gradients and fun stuff like that. But also I see these trends in our daily creative challenges a lot. So that's why I wanted to point that out. Bold, saturated, bright colors as we sort of look to the future and kind of coming out of this pandemic, sort of fingers crossed, or at least in a better stage of the whole pandemic, the do good trend as well. All right, cool. You guys can check that out for yourself. And yeah, feel free to do so. Man, oh man, it's one of those days. Want to welcome you here. We have a fun week planned as well. All right. You guys get the idea. Let's move on. Okay, shall we? Let's take a look at some new creative as well. Okay. Coffee break, that's what that was. Yes. Let's kind of move on. Actually, there's one more thing I want to talk about that's actually pretty important, or at least it means a lot to a lot of us at Adobe, by the way. And, you know, let's face it, not all news is all about branding and good things. Not to bring us down, but we were just kind of reminiscent about Charles Geschke, or Chuck Geschke. He passed away. He's one of the founders of Adobe, passed away this weekend. He is awesome, and feel free to kind of read about him, but he was sort of one of the creators of PDF. Him and John Warnock both started Adobe, right? And yeah, so they just have a deep history with Adobe, of course. And yeah, I got to meet him, and he's awesome, by the way. I did a board members meeting with him, board of directors meeting, demo, and he treated me like a real person and not just some demo jockey. So I really appreciate him and what he's contributed to the design community. And that's all. I just want to give him a shout out. All right, let's dive into so a moment for him as we drink some coconut coffee, and no offense. There we go. Co-founder of PDF. I don't think we realize how big that is. Cool. Tyrone Henry, any news on when Adobe Dimension will be available on the M1 chip? I don't have that intel just yet, so I don't know is the answer there. But hopefully soon, especially as more people get them. Oh, there I am. That took a second. I'm not sure why, but you know what? It's like my system is like slowly trying to work as well. All right. More coffee. All right. Thank you for that, Clarissa and Froja. Really appreciate that. Could dive into sort of creative work, by the way. So I think a conference, if we take a look, by the way, kind of wanted to point this out really fast. Let's switch over back to my screen, if you don't mind. And we're back, right? Abu Zido, and really wanted to kind of talk about this, and I don't want to beat like a dead horse because I feel like people think I talk about it all the time. But if you're talking about new work that's kind of coming out from creatives, a lot of things are actually being generated as NFTs. So I see a lot of artists, yes, they will upload to Behance. As we can see, we got some gorgeous work. IC4 design, right? A number of just really great work that's being pushed out, but also that's getting turned into NFTs. So a lot of these portfolio sites now have sort of like NFTs of the week, right? And guess what? I have an illustration a lot like that one, Mr. Tom. So that's interesting. So again, you can kind of see that people are typically sort of creating work and then turning them into NFTs, and you can find a lot of those on, say, foundation.app or these marketplaces. You know, this is where you'll see like the most artwork being generated, I feel, out there. So you can go to Foundation. Of course, it's going to be very crypto art centric, as we can see this load up, right? But you can see obviously what people are creating Izzy, right? Yes, Abuzito has been around for ages. He has. That whole site, you know, it's, again, been around for ages. So there you are, Humane du Jour, where you have what looks like fish shopping for little people. Isn't that hilarious? So I think that's pretty funny. Right, so check that out. You can find this stuff on Foundation. You can go to superrare.co, right, to see the artists and see artwork and start collecting. So you can go to market and check out work in here. Cool. Hopefully that makes sense. I have stuff out there as well, but it's not about me. It's about you guys. NFTs, yeah, no. How you feeling about that, Mike? Tell me, like, I would love to know what issues are, what people have a problem with when it comes to NFTs. It usually, I guess the biggest argument is the environmental impact, which needs to be worked out, which I agree 100%. Also kind of want to talk about FITC Toronto, right? So you can see a number of this kind of file this under resources as well as artwork, but they're actually selling NFTs. And of course they have resources, videos, slides. FITC Toronto is in Toronto. It's a conference that is being held every year. And I just want to support them is the short of it. So yeah, there we go. James White. Boom. But the cool thing is they have all these fun videos, slides, and content for you. So get inspired based on these conference websites that are just kind of giving away a lot of content for free since they're not having conferences anymore. And, you know, I want to support them. So that's the idea. All right. Does that work? So Bryce Johnson, just to quickly explain, and geez, time is flying by. Explain NFTs and the environmental impact. It takes a lot of energy, like a lot of actual like power, electricity to mint Ethereum and pretty much any cryptocurrency. So until Ethereum 2.0 comes out, you know, where it's more, I can't even remember the name of it. But yeah, basically to mint this artwork, or excuse me, not to mint it, to pay for the gas, to mine cryptocurrency costs energy, which means power and all that fun stuff. There was a power outage in China where some big crypto mines were, so that currency dipped a little bit this weekend. So now you know. All right. Oh yeah, and then excited for tomorrow's Apple event. Yes, we could totally pull that up as well. What is it called? To answer your question, yeah, I'm not going to be the first out with any sort of. I'm not like necessarily an early adopter, just so you know, because just like with the M1 chip, it's going to take a while for us to have software for those new laptops or whatever the case may be. So that's all. So wanted to actually show you some of these. Kind of ran out of time, mainly because I had some issues. But the short of it is, I want to talk about like pro tips for other apps that you could use as a designer. So I use Bartender, which allows you to organize all of the apps in your top bar for Mac. I also use Pro Mouse for zooming in and highlighting and drawing on your screen. You have Unclutter, which is like a notes app that you can swipe up from the top. And then you have Text Expander as well, allowing you shortcut keys for pasting in text, whether it's lorem ipsum or your address, that sort of thing. And then, of course, turn on zooming on your Mac as well. So that's what it's called. These are all, of course, Mac apps. They might have a PC equivalent, but I'm not 100% sure. So thanks so much for bearing with me, everybody. It's been a Monday, huh? And I'm sorry maybe a card went out on me this weekend, but I'll be able to share my screen next time. Hopefully you still enjoyed this. It's going to be awesome. We got some hack coming up next. Actually, it'll be really good. It's all about Photoshop Daily Creative Challenge coming up next. And then make sure you stick around for all of our awesome guests this week. As you know, Anna Davis Court, Sean Riken, James Bonanno, and a McNaught, and all of them, and then Brush Hour tomorrow morning. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate you. Thank you, even though I had technical difficulties, thank you for being so kind. So thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.